Hi everyone, this is Yuvraj from the team Logic Lots. Welcome back. We are ready with an exciting project again, that is designing a sports website. So here is the output of our sports page. We can see over effects, a shadow drop effect, icons from font awesome, and hovering to. So this is the main landing page, and we have different kind of sub pages in it. So we'll explore all these pages and what the code behind it and start learning about it. Okay, let's start from the basics. Now we have to create a folder to create this project. So which I have made before, that is this folder. So as usual, we'll use VS Code to do this project. I'm opening this. So to create a separate individual sub pages, we have created each individual HTML file for each page, like blog HTML, home HTML, login HTML, and index HTML. We'll discuss further. First of all, let's discuss about the landing page, that is which we are going to do in the index HTML file with the corresponding style.css file, which is going to use it to style this index.html file. Hello, so let's begin. So we'll begin with the basic HTML tag code, that is the head section, which contains the meta tags which are used for the browser compatibility and viewport configurations. Next, if we move on, we should link the external CSS file, that is styles.css. Then again, I have linked another style sheet, which is external CDN of font awesome, which is provided for using the icons, social media icons, which we have used in our project. So I have linked that too. Then if you move on, we have the main container in the head. So let's see it. So let's see this. Heads, head section opening tags and closing tags are completed. So it's time for the body tag. So we'll create a body opening tag. So here it goes. Now the content that is visible on the web page is mostly contains the body tags only. So here it goes. I'll remember this. Then we have created an division with an ID container which contains the logo, that is the boxing which we have given here. Then if we move on, after the heading, it corresponds to the navigation bar. So I have given a division with an ID nav bar, which is navigation bar, with an UL that implies unordered lists and links which are provided with an anchor tags. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links which can be visible on the navigation bar. I have provided their links for few of them. We can add all of them too. As this is sample, so I have decided to do few of them. Then if we move, we have created the logo, we have created the navigation bar. If we move, we have, now it's a time for adding a background image. So I have created a division with an ID image, and I have added an image from my folder. We have to keep that images in the folder that we are doing for this project, so it should be present, and we should add the address of that image. If not, we can add the address too. So I have given the alt text that defines the image which we have added. Next, if we move, we have added the image. We have next we should go to the main content. We have created a division, that is the that identified as content, and it has heading sports and a subheading trainer. The sports H2 implies a bigger font size than H4, as we know. Then if we move, we have created the content, and then we have moved for icons. So I have created a division named icons with the ID icons, and there are four anchor tags with four font awesome icons, which are Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, with their respective links I have provided here, which are subjected to my content I would like to present. I'll show you in the final output those links. Next, if we move, we have created the icons, added image. Then we will move to the pagination icons. Here I have not given any links to the pagination icons, just created a division called pagination and given two font awesome icons, which implies left and right navigation. And if we want, we can add the links which are used to slide through the links which we have provided, and we must write corresponding CSS to. We have created it. Then if we move on, we should add, as we have seen in the output, we have added two lines which are used for the decoration. So let's do that too. So I've created two divisions with line 1 and line 2 and close the remaining tags like this. If we go live, so let's see live. Here we go. We have created a heading in the navigation bar and the navigation anchor tags with the links here. We have added the image. I have downloaded image and removed its background. And we have added the H2 heading in the container and H4 heading, and here we can see the font awesome icons all over here. So this is a skeleton of the website. Now we have to add the body with the help of CSS. So let's do it. Okay, let's see the CSS. Here we go. We have added style.css, right? So if we see the CSS part, let's start with the global selector. Means this is the styling that applies to every element of the code of the CSS code. So that is the padding, margin, font, family, that is font, and the boxing size. Then if we move to the main element of the code, that is a container, we have given height, width, position. Position is relative. We have given the background color, and if we move here, the element is specified for container and logo. Here we get logo means we have wrote a code of boxing, right? So if we see the output, we'll get an idea about it. See, here is the logo which we have defined just now. We have also given the red color to that logo and the font size. And here the Z index indicates that the stacking order of the elements in a web page. So which should be underlying and which should be above the other element. So here the Z index is 997. If we give more than this Z index, the element which is more should be stacked over this element, vice versa. And if we move to the nav bar, here we have specified nav bar and we have given height, width, and position is absolute, which should be in the, and we have display grid is a function which is used to position the attributes in a specified spaces. We have given the color, padding, place items, and here we have specified the navbar lists. Here we have mentioned the list as none, and we have used the flex property, which is used to display the elements in horizontal manner in the navigation bar. So if you move to the next one, if you see is it is the nav bar again and with included list and links. So here we have specified the font size and margin. Then here it is an anchor tag also mentioned here. So here the text decoration is none and the color is black. So let's see the output. It should be black. The navigation bar font should be black. If we have corresponding this code, see, so they are the flex box applied make them horizontal and the position is absolute, and the font we have provided is shown and the color is also there. Everything is good. We'll move. Then if we move, we have applied a hover effect to the above navigation bar. Let's see if that works. It will work. Check. See, we can clearly observe the navigation bar changing its color whenever the cursor is hovering above it. Next, if we see the navigation bar is incomplete, what is that we have to do is to add a login icon or login button specifically. So it is an element in the navigation bar which is also a part of another list. So I have mentioned the corresponding elements. So I have given height, position, absolute, which is respected to the navigation bar, and I have used the same display grid which maintains the space, and I have given the color for the background of that login button, which should be a little visually appealing so that user clicks in the login button. So if you want, we can see the output. So here we go. The output, we have provided a black background color within the container of the login button. So we got just here, and we provided the border radius to 10 pixels or something, so that it got a curved box which looks quite good. Then if we move to the, we have added the login button. Then we have added the login hover effect. Let's see the output. See, if we hover, the login font color remains the same and the background color changes. So we have decided to do that. Then if we move, now it's the time to add the image CSS. So we have made the image position absolute, and this is helps us to move the image to the right and place it in the middle. And the z index, if we observe the z index, it's more than the we given before. So before we have given 997, now we have given 999. So the the greater z index is always stacks over remaining z index which are lesser than that. So if we see the output, we'll get a clear cut idea. Look, so we have got the image, which is, here we have got a division. Yes, here we have got a division. Now for the further CSS, we'll get to see the change we have made. Now we have added a, in these lines of code we have added a special function or a CSS animation feature, we can say, that is drop shadow, which is a function of uh, filter property. And we have given the transition of 0.5 seconds, which makes the transition speed to 0.5. And we have specified a color for the shadow. Generally the shadow is black, right? So we have given black. So if you see in the output, we can observe that the position is changed to the right as we specified. And if we hover through it, the drop shadow effect is clearly visible with the black shadow hovering. That's looking great, right? If we move to the next part, we have given the hover effect to the images. Then let's move on to the content, which is remaining on the left half of the body content of the site. So we have specified the class as content of this division. We have positioned absolute, and it should be in the middle of the web page and should be at least means in the left half of the plane slightly. And the z index, if we can observe, it is 996, which means the image over stacks over the content which we are going to write. So that content has two parts, right? That is h2 and h4. So first we have to apply CSS to the h2. That is, we have applied the font size and font color, and we have also added the hover effect. If we see this in the output, we can clearly observe what we have done. So the z index makes the difference like this. So the z index of this image is 999. So it is over stacking upon the container h2, container element h2, which has lower z index than the image. So it is h4. So if we hover through it, the hover effect works perfectly fine. So with that, we should do the same with the h4 element also. So the h4 element is right. We have done. So we have to do the same with the h4 as I said. So let's add the h4 content. Here it is. So if you add the h4, the output comes in. The sub heading also, the font size is and hover effect also applied to this. So for sure, make the logo, the icons that are left. So we are left with the icons, social media icons that should be present in the left side, left corner of the web page. So have in the height, width, position, and the color. So both the border radius defines the border of within that class, and we have used a flex, which is used to again arrange these icons or attributes in aligned manner. So the z index here is 998, which is lying between the container and the image. If we see the output, we'll get an clear image. Let's see. So we have added the border and the border radius and the z index. Let's style the icons too. If we style the icons, I have provided the links to the font of some icons. If the user clicks on them, the user can be redirected to that links. See, we have got the hover effect and the spacing between them. So we have added the hover color black. So whenever the user hovers it, the border converts black. Next, we have done this. The pagination we have seen in the output earlier. The pagination is below the image, which is used to move. If we have any extra pages or photos, it can be used to paginate them. So here I have given the required CSS and a hover effect, which turns the pagination elements whenever hovered to red. Next, so finally we have added line 1, line 2 divisions, which are generally decorative lines, which are used to give us that sporty edge look, which makes the website even more user interactive and visually appealing. Let's see the output. There we go, a complete home page, landing page, works fine. So far so good. Let's do the login page, home page, blog page, etc. and their corresponding CSS. As we are done with the landing page, HTML and CSS, let's move to the home page. Let's do home page of the sports website. As we have done with the landing page, let us start with the basic HTML tag, which contains a head head, head tags, which has a basic title and a linking of external CSS file, that is home.css, which will be we are going to do it later after doing this. So we have given this. Next we have a header section. We'll have the here we have started a body tag and the header tag. The header tag, we have the main heading of the home page. So all the visible content is present in this body tag, as we know. After the header, we have a navigation bar, as we have seen in the output. So let us do this. I have given the all output at once. If we see the each line, we can get that. After the header, we have created a navigation tag with an unordered list, and each list has its sub lists. We can see which are further be used to the drop down menus. So we have created a list inside a list with the anchor tags and named them individually according to their headings and their lease provided here. So we have four elements in the navigation bar with its own list inside it. So now we have to do furthermore adding furthermore elements, like we would like to add some links or videos to them. We can add like this. If we see here, we can see we have added a iframe. Iframe is generally, this tag is used to add YouTube embedded links. So here I have added a YouTube link which is related to the content here. So I have created a division with the class container and a subdivision with card and another division which with which is card container. So the container contains the card and card contains the card container. The card container has the content of that particular card. So each card, so we'll going to do the same with other three elements or headings we have taken. So we're going to do the same with the other three elements, and we're going to add each respective link to it. So this is how it looks. So we have done the same for other three. We have created the container, and the container has the card, and card has a card container, and the card container consists of all the data we have provided. So that's how the home page went. If you want to see the output, let me remove this without adding the CSS. If we see the output, here how it looks. We have added the heading and added some. Here it will be the navigation bar if we give the CSS and Flexbox settings, and these sub lists are going to be a drop down list within this, exactly down to the respective headings. And this, we have created the card divisions. Each card division has its own iframe tag with the link. So here is the HTML preview. Let's see, let's add the CSS to it and see how it goes. Let's continue this by doing the CSS of the home page. So let us start the styling with the body. So we have given padding to default 0. So we have get into our home page. So let's do the CSS. Okay, in the body. Next we'll move to the header. Here I have given the header background color to red and the font color to white and the padding of 20 pixels. And here the h1 tag has the margin 0 and font size 28 pixels. Let's see the output. Here we go. We've given the background color red and the font color white. Then we have here I have selected the navigation bar with the unordered list class. Here I have given the slight gray black grayish color to the background and the list style to none, and the margin and padding are assigned to 0, and the same for the navigation bar list with inline block and position is relative. Generally relative position is used to set the elements in the center of the screen. So let's see how it went. Here we go. We have given the another list here in the background color. The background color also assigned. Next, here I have the CSS for the anchor tags in the navigation bar with the display type block and the padding 10 pixels, and the text decoration have kept it as none, and the sub list and the unordered in the navigation bar the unordered lists display position and padding has done like this. Next, I have ordered the hover effect to the list items. If you see the output, check it. Um, Here we see the sub the list. Here we have made the navigation bar to be placed relative, and the CSS made the drop down box and the hover effect. So we have left remaining with the card containers. So let's do the CSS for them too. Here I have given the padding and headings to the each heading of the card container. For the container, I have given the width to 85%, margin to 50 pixels, and auto display flex, which makes the main container to be expanded horizontally over the screen, and it is placed at the center by justify content property, and the items inside the card or inside the container are in the center with align items. So let's see, it should make the container in the center, right? I've given the container. Next, if we move this subdivision in the container, that is card, each card has the content. So first we're going to do the CSS for the card, and then we'll do the CSS inside the card container. So I've given the color and I've given the shadow box effect too, which gives a glowing like effect, and I have provided the transition of 0.3 seconds ease, which makes it has a shadow we can observe beneath it, and each card is divided its respective sheets. That's so we have done the CSS for the card, and we have added a hover effect to the card. Now if you move, so here we are with the card container. So here the display is fixed, so the items are aligned horizontally in the center. That's how it went. Then I've given the card container h2 CSS. So the iframes means the links should be in the below of the each card, right? So I have given the iframe width 100% and height 100%. So if you see the output, let's see how the home page went. We have given the heading, drop down, and over effects. Over effect for each card item and the links. So this is how the home page of our main page went. Now we are left with the blog page and login page, and I have already added the links to each icon of the social media icons. So if you click on them, it will be redirected. For example, I'll click in YouTube, so it is redirected to a boxing page. So remaining everything works like that. So let's do the remaining pages too. Now we are left with login page and blog page. Let's do the HTML for the login page. In the login page, we have two uh, separate divisions. One is a sign up page and another one is a login page. If the user don't have a account, he needs to be signed in, right? So we are going to create a signing page. Let's start. Our HTML code, as usual, begins with the basic HTML tag with the meta tags and a title tag named login. And we have linked the external CSS style.css. We are going to style it in the same CSS file which we have used to style the main landing page. So that's how. Next, we are going to the body tag. In the body tag, we have created a division called sign up box and a heading with sign up and a H4 heading, which is a descriptive subheading like thing which describes the sign up property. Then here we have started a tag called form. Form is a tag used to take the input from the user, and here is a label and input type. So these labels and input types takes their respective uh, credentials like first name, last name, email, and the password. Here it is somewhat different. So here we have given the input type as password. So this makes the password, the type password makes the user privacy levels. That is, if we see the output, if we type the password, it is protected like that. So uh, I have not removed the CSS file in the previous code. I will remove that. Now, if you see the output, you see the output as this is the previous output. So this is how the form tags works. Next, here there is a p tag which refers to the paragraph. Here there is a few text which describes the sign up process and terms and conditions. Here we can add the links for the terms and privacy policy, which can be redirected and user can read them. I have not provided any links for this as it is a demo. Next, I have a another para tag which has this description, which is used to direct the user to directly log in. Now it's a part for the user to log in. So we have a division called login box and the heading login. So it has, so the login box is begun. As we created the login section, it needs the input from the user. So we have used the form tags and same email label password. So which makes the user login. So we'll force this login form with the para2 class which has this description which is used to redirect the user to again sign up if we do not have any account. So if we see the output, so this is the HTML output of the provided index login page. So if we add the CSS, it looks different. So let's do the CSS for the login page. So the CSS of the login page is also in the styles.css as we have added the external CSS file as style.css. So let's do the CSS of the login page here. So we'll start with doing the body. So here I have the classes of dot sign up box and dot login box with the same kind of CSS, which is with 360 pixels, height 620 pixels, and the margin for the both of them are given auto. So the background color is white for both of them. So everything is same. Border radius is 3 pixels. This is for whole login page background. Next, if you see, we have the here I have given the CSS for the heading one and its descriptive line. Here the sign up box and the small description below it. We can see through the output. Where is the login page? If you click on it, see the body has it, and the login heading is here, and the color and the H1 and H4 CSS is applied. Let's move next. Now we are giving the CSS for the form and the form label. Here the flex is used to align it in the center. Next, here the form input CSS is given with the padding width and border type, border radius outline. Here the input button, input type is given as button because the user clicks over it and provides the input. Let's see the output. So we can see, here we go. There is a button and the form is there with the border radius and they both are divided. Next, here we have given the CSS for the paragraphs which are used to instruct the user. We have made them align in the center above this and here. So this is a simple and interactive login page. Now we are left with the blog page. Let's see the HTML of blog page. So the HTML, basic HTML tag starts the blog page. Here we can see the basic HTML tags, meta tags, and the title as blog. And here I have connected the CDNs of font awesome icons, which we are going to use for the heart icons or the like icons, we can say, in the blog or the blog pages. And I have also linked the external CSS file styles.css, and the head section is closed here. Let's start the body section. So the body section, here I'll go with each line. In the body section, we have created a separate section called blog. In that, we have given the heading as boxing blog, which is the main heading. In that, in the section, we have another division called box container. Here in the box container, we have another class called box with the shadow effect. So here again the box shadow. Then in the division, we have given a image class, and we have linked the image, and we have given the alt text as boxing gloves, which defines the inserted image, and we have given a descriptive heading of a heart symbol. We have the font of some heart icon here, and we have given some random likes here, number of likes, and we have closed the division. Next, the content of this box shadow is provided in this division with the heading here, and the descriptive content in the paragraph tags, p tags. And if you want to read more, we have given a button, a class named read more, and a link, uh, anchor tag anchor tag in it, which has a hyperlink. We can paste any link which can be redirected for the whole blog here. So we're gonna do the same thing for n number of blocks here. So in our blogs, we have a few number of blocks like with different contents. So do the same for the n number of blocks which we are going to present. If we see the output of the blog page, I'll get to know. So without the CSS, the image is occupied whole screen. So here how it went. So let's add the CSS file, the CSS for this, and get the final blog page. So let's continue doing the CSS of the blog page. So we are doing the CSS in the same file of style.css. So let's start the CSS of the blog page. Here I have started with the universal or global selector, which applies the same font family, margin, padding, box size, text decoration, and transition to every class of the blog page. Then I'll have the HTML tag HTML selector. Here in the HTML selector we have a font size set to 62.5%. Auto is hidden. The background color is white. Then we have a class selector, or we can say section selector especially. This section selector has a padding of 5 rem and 10%. Then we have the class selector of heading with the text aligned in the center and the margin bottom to 3 rem, and text transition is capitalized. The color light gray. So let's see the output up to here. Our blog page, blog, we'll click on the blog. So we have the heading here and the background color. We not yet did the CSS for the images, so they were like this. Okay, let's do the remaining CSS too. We have given the heading, set class selector. Next, here I have given the class selector for the box and the box container with the display grid, which means the blocks were arranged in the center with the grid pattern. If you see the next CSS, that is the class selector with block, box container and box shadow. Here we can see the shadow effect, which is important for the visual appealing feature of the blog page, and it is interactive too. So then here it is a class selector of the blog, box container, box image. So here we have made the image in the center position. So the next, let's see the output here. Let's see the current output. Go to the blog. So on the grid, we have applied the grid and the hover for the image. So it is applied here. So let's check the remaining. So here we have applied the class selector, which is blog and blog container, and we have given the CSS for the background color, position to absolute, and we have added the color to the box container and the box image. Next, then we have here there are two class selectors. One is for the H3 class with the font size, and the other is for the paragraph with the font size and padding. Finally, we have done the CSS for the button, which is the read more button. We have used the inline block and the color padding, and the text transform we have used capitalize. So let's see the final output, the blog page. We have succeeded. Here we can see the hover effect of the images and the read more buttons and the heading, shadow effect. Everything is super fine. This is our sports website, so we can explore it. We have added the links, corresponding links for the content we provided in this. We have added Instagram links, which redirects to the Instagram. Vice versa. We have there's a lot of improvements which needs to be done in this project. As a beginners, we have put our 100% effort to make it look more realistic and user friendly and visually appealing. And we thank GoCinQ for giving this opportunity to us. Thank you all.